Not since Episode 2, Star Wars Attack of the Clones, have we heard such a sweet noise.
There are 2 banthas down there, but I don't see any... Wait a second. They're sand people, all right. I can see one of them now.
Hello there, I'm Darren.
And I'm Doogie.
And it's Tuesday, so you know what that means. Mando episode.
Oh, I thought it was Taco Tuesday.
Put down the tacos.
Yeah. Okay.
Gonna get sauce everywhere.
I've maybe just made a lot of editing work for you.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So yeah, what an episode.
Words cannot describe how I feel about this episode.
I've seen the face of God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll take it one bit at a time.
Yeah.
So we open up at a scrapyard that
Darth Maul.
that Migs is carrying out his sentence on. So he's doing the Star Wars equivalent of breaking rocks, and he's breaking TIE fighters. And he is then picked up by Marshal Dune.
Mm-hmm.
She strolls in. The person who doesn't join anything. She's not a joiner. She literally has tattoos of every cause that she's joined.
Yeah.
And the robot was just about the Rose Tico, Bill Burr. But yeah, so we see the Slave One. We see Boba with a new paint job.
Yeah.
The armor's now part of the monk robes. We see he's got his E11 back. Classic Boba.
Yeah.
We see the inside of the Slave One. It's meant for war. It's meant for like fighting stuff, carrying prisoners, so it's nothing fancy, but it is very cool seeing the inside. It's not just the cockpit.
And I mean, it's like the inside of a bumblebee is not very fancy, but it's functional.
It gets you from A to B. So yeah, so Bill Burr's character, Mayfeld, essentially explains that to find Moff Gideon, he's going to need to steal some codes. So they go to the planet Morak, where the Empire's mining some rhydonium. They have this conversation with who's going with them. So Kara's a known rebel dropper. She's no good, because the system needs to scan your face. Fennec Shand is wanted. She's no good. And then Boba turns around and he goes,
"Let's just say they might recognize my face."
Yes, I wonder where from.
You know, it took me so long to get that joke.
Yeah.
I was like, because like everyone knows Boba Fett's mask, and then like it just didn't dawn on me for ages.
Yeah,
like,
and here we are now, 3 hours later, and you finally got he was referring to the clone army from Attack of the Clones episode 2.
Yeah.
And the entire 3D animated Clone Wars TV show.
I know, there's so much in my life. And it just did not get that. It was such a slow burner. I was tired this morning.
Yeah. You're lucky you're pretty.
So Din decides, yeah, okay, I'll go with you, but I'm not showing my face. So they take over the transport, and then Din changes into a stormtrooper outfit. And you could tell something was coming up. I was like, okay, this is going to be a big question of faith right now. But yeah, so then we get attacked by pirates. And this is kind of our first fight that we see Din do without his proper Mandalorian armor, and we can see how reliant he is on his Mandalorian armor, which was cool to see, because he then gets his staff and you're like, okay, we know now that he can handle his staff.
But yeah, I love seeing that as well, just how it shows you that part of the reason he's surviving is his armor.
Oh yeah.
And if he wasn't wearing his armor, he would have been killed long ago, probably. Because to go up against odds like that, where you're outnumbered like 10-1, you need something like Beskar, and you need the skills that he has, but you need both to be able to survive that. You know, he's not invincible, he's not indestructible, he's a good fighter, and when he has his Beskar, he can do very impressive feats, but he's not invincible if he loses his armor. He's still a good fighter, but he is weaker, you know, and it's noticeable. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He doesn't just have plot armor because he's the main character.
Yeah.
There's that potential there for him to feel.
So yeah, so the pirates are trying to blow up the transport, and then they get saved by TIE fighters, and they get a nice wee hero's welcome. So then we go into the officers' mess hall, and Mayfeld stops, and he's like, oh, can't go in. That's my former commander. So Din goes in because there's no other option. He has to go in. The only thing is, for some reason, this is built with a Mandalorian safeguard of, we need to see your bake. So he goes in, and you can see the hesitation in the bucket, and he does a face reveal.
And I love that you can see the conflict in his eyes after he's taken his helmet off. And I think what he's done in this episode will have ramifications, but I think that'll be next season. I think that'll be part of season 3, where he's dealing with what he's had to do to get Grogu back. I think that's where it's going to be going.
Yeah, if he meets his old Covern, what'll happen? Will they strip him of his armor? Will they cast him out, or will he become an enemy?
I think as well, because you mentioned last week how his face is going to be revealed, and this will push him to reconcile with
with
Bo-Katan and Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And they'll help him get through this.
I think so. I think that could be the struggle. I don't know if it's going to be this season or next season. Probably next season, but it's that kind of thing of, I think maybe he does meet up with his Covern and he's cast out as being a Mandalorian, but then Bo-Katan or Boba Fett convinces him otherwise. Here's what you did. You travel across the galaxy to save your son, and if there's anything else, anything that's more Mandalorian than that, I don't know. Have a week, speech like that. But then there's also the thing of, what if he wins the Darksaber? Could that be a thing that unites the clans? But yeah, we get the face reveal of the beautiful Pedro Pascal.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And the commander comes over, speaks to them, invites them for a drink, and Bill Burr's character brings up Operation Cinder, which was the order from the Emperor whenever he gets killed, is just to essentially wipe out certain systems, like even Imperial places, destroy anything that can be used by the rebels, and shoot off into the unknown region. And that's kind of, in that storyline, that's where the protagonist decides actually the Empire's not for her, and that their team all splits up and everything. So we can see that Mayfeld had that same character arc where it was like, hang on, they're literally killing tens of thousands of Imperials, if not millions, and he's sitting across the table from this guy. He's like, yeah, that was a great idea. It meant that the rebels couldn't catch up to us, couldn't use any of our equipment, couldn't use any of our resources.
And with what you just delivered, we're going to make that look like a firework display.
Pizza time.
It hinted that there's a huge plan to do that.
And I loved how you could see Mayfeld, just his reaction to that. And it's something I thought was really interesting as well. Whenever they get saved by the TIE fighters and the stormtroopers run out and they're like clapping them and cheering them and they're all getting like, hey, good job, buddy, as they're walking through the base. I was just like, this is so weird to be on the other side of this and to be like, did we just help the Empire?
Yeah.
The weird kind of conflict of that, where it's just like, these are the bad guys, but we needed to do this to get in, but what's the cost of that? And then we're very much immediately told the cost of that, what they delivered will be used to kill even more people. And just having seen how that's affected Mayfeld and their reaction to finding out what we've just done will kill even more people, like he starts tearing up. You can see like that's tearing him apart.
Oh yeah,
that knowledge.
Bill Burr did an amazing job.
Fantastic scene.
Yeah.
And so Mayfeld shoots the officer, and that's their cover blown.
Boring conversation anyway.
Yeah.
Big number.
Boring conversation anyway.
So they have like a shootout in the canteen and make their escape through the window, and they're climbing up the outside of the building, and they call in Big Boba. And he comes flying in, and we see the most awkward pickup of all time.
Yeah, just not built for comfort.
Yeah.
So this is why this thing shouldn't fly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he picks them up, and then, not since episode 2, Star Wars Attack of the Clones, have we heard such a sweet noise. He releases a seismic charge to deal with the TIE fighters chasing them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And I, like, as soon as he was flying away, I said to you, like, seismic charge.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. And Filoni and Favreau, they know what I want, and they deliver it each week.
And then we cut to Moff Gideon's light cruiser, and Mando has sent a message, and it's the exact same speech Moff Gideon gave them at the end of season 1, and it was amazing just to kind of see that passion. Yeah. And I think this whole season we've seen kind of the opposite of like what the Empire's like and what
the New
Republic's like, and why people kind of prefer the New Republic over the Empire. So cool. I can't wait to see what happens next week.
Oh, it's all going down, and I don't want to wait another year for more of this. It's
So good.
So good.
So I'm kind of caught into two things. Like, I don't want Giancarlo Esposito's character, Moff Gideon, to be defeated because I want to see what he does. I want to see more of him because he can do so much with a character, but also that character seems already so interesting. So, like, I do want to see another season of Moff Gideon, but at the same time, I hate seeing Mando without Baby Yoda. Yeah. Well, that's about all we have time for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check out some videos at the end of this video. Or check them out right now. Bye.
Bye.
Seconds to system shutdown. 10.
This is the way.